What's up, world? You're tuned into 423 FM. You already know we've got you covered with your daily dose of celebrity drama. Now let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome back to the 423. On June 19th, DL Hughley was performing at Zany's Comedy Club in Nashville, Tennessee. It was actually his fourth show that weekend, and he was supposed to do 4 more shows on Saturday and Sunday, but those ended up getting canceled because of what happened during his late night performance on Friday. Footage from the club shows DL performing a set, and everything seems to be going fine until someone on his team walks on stage to give him some water. And only a few seconds later, the comedian starts slurring his words and eventually passes out, and he has to be carried off stage. Here's that footage.
Mexicans, they call it, they were immigrants. I got you.
Everybody just stay calm. We got it all under control here, y'all. Thank y'all so much. We're gonna get things taken care of.
Sit down. When this footage surfaced, there was a lot of speculation as to what might have happened, and a lot of fans assumed he had a stroke because of the way he was slurring his words. But the next morning, his rep told TMZ that he was suffering from exhaustion after a week of work and travel, and was kept overnight at the hospital for tests under doctor's orders. They also said that he was awake and feeling better and wishes to thank everyone for the very kind prayer and thoughts. Of course, everyone was relieved to hear that DL was doing better and nothing too serious happened, but just a few hours later, the comedian posted his own video to social media explaining the diagnosis. He tested positive for the coronavirus.
Hey, it's me, DL Hughley. I'm just being released from St. Thomas Hospital in Nashville. I want to thank them for taking such good care of me. I want to thank you all for your well wishes and your prayers, and you comedians who called and said such evil things when I was scared to death. Thank you too. I really appreciate it. Thank you everybody for your prayers and well wishes. When I came, I was being treated for extreme exhaustion and dehydration, which I was very dehydrated, but it turns out they ran a battery of tests, and I also tested positive for COVID-19, which blew me away. I was what they call asymptomatic. I didn't have any symptoms that, other classic symptoms. I didn't have flu-like symptoms. I didn't have shortness of breath. I didn't have difficulty breathing. I didn't have a cough. I didn't have a low-grade fever. I still don't have a fever. I didn't have a loss of smell or taste. Apparently, I just lost consciousness. So, in addition to all the other stuff you have to look out for, if your ass pass out in the middle of a show on stage, you probably need to get tested. So, I am going back to my hotel room to quarantine for 14 days. And, well, thank you for your prayers and your well wishes. And a few more of them wouldn't hurt. So hopefully I won't develop symptoms. Maybe this is as bad as it gets and I'll just pass out over and over again, or not. But thank you. I appreciate your thoughts and your prayers, and they did not go unnoticed or unfelt. Thank you.
It's impossible for us to tell when or where DL Hughley contracted the virus, but I can't say that this is surprising because he hasn't exactly been social distancing, at least recently. Like I mentioned, he was doing a whole weekend of shows in Nashville starting on the 18th, but those weren't his first shows back on the road. He also played some shows at the Addison Improv in Dallas, Texas from June 11th to 14th, so he's been doing quite a bit of traveling over the past few weeks. I don't know what kind of protocol they have in place at these comedy clubs. I'm sure they're trying to be at least semi-safe because they probably have to be legally, But as you can see from the footage of him passing out, none of the people in that building are wearing masks, and they're not spread out either. The tables are super close to each other, and everyone in the crowd is basically on top of one another. Obviously, DL is on stage, so he's a little further from everyone else, but it's a small, intimate show, so I wouldn't be surprised if he did some handshaking and picture taking at one or more of these performances. A lot of states are going back to normal now that June is rolled around, so it's not that surprising that comedians are getting back into their regular routine, but unfortunately, it doesn't seem like DL Hughley was taking this whole thing very seriously before. On May 28th, he did an interview with Vlad TV, which in and of itself shows that he wasn't social distancing, but in the interview, he's talking about how people can't stay inside for forever, and also goes on some weird tangent about how man is actually the worst virus. I honestly don't know what he's getting at here, but I think this clip makes it pretty clear that he's in the camp of people who think getting back to work is more important than being cautious. And listen, I get it, people need to make money, but just because we got bored doesn't mean that the coronavirus just went away. I commend everyone out there protesting, and luckily, from what I've seen, most people seem to be wearing masks and staying as distant as possible. But as far as recreational activities go, like Memorial Day weekend parties and going to comedy clubs, I just don't see how it's worth it. I feel like this clip of DL Hughley proves that people aren't taking this seriously because they just don't think that it can happen to them, but it can, and if you're not being careful, it probably will. Regardless of whether or not he was being as cautious as he probably should have, I wish DL a speedy recovery, and I'm glad he mentioned that he is going to quarantine for 14 days. I just hope he's more cautious following this wake-up call, and I hope other people are too. Anyway, I want to know what you guys think about this. Are you guys easing up on your quarantine lifestyle, or are you still staying as far from other people as possible? Leave your thoughts down below in the comments, subscribe to the 14th for more videos, and if you like this one, just give it a quick thumbs up. That is it for today. I will see you guys next time. Bye.